Then you have to became great in that field, great businessman. It's really not hard to understand. I mean, and Max Ostro was really he had something in him from his very, very young age. And I just saw him briefly when I was a friend of my brother-in-law. The two young men, I mean, and the war broke out, I think he was about 13 or so, guys right after my wisdom. Never knew any proper language. Yeah, I mean, for the vocabulary was probably 200 words. And here, all of a sudden, 2 years later, some of them, they owned factories. They became international businessmen. The Max Ostro was something like this. What he didn't do in the war, the fact that he was safe, how he ran from one camp to another, how he hid himself, how he was a Mongolian among people who, and he looked Jewish. I mean, he couldn't hide his Jewishness. Still, he succeeded in pose like a Polak, like a Gentile. But all this has to do with some not das Hashem. I can say, I never know, I spoke about myself, or also I always say, there's one thing sure, I did not outsmart the Germans. Certainly this I wasn't capable. If I survived, it was because this was the war of Hashem is for. Because everything was illicit. I mean, everything, there were miracles. How sometimes we were here almost on the verge of a pit, and the bullets that were avoided you. But this is all as I say, not God is not with Hashem. But then there's something, whoever knew him and his interest in Charlie's soil was remarkable. Wherever he went, with his business, in Hong Kong and in Japan, and somewhere in Asia, in many countries, wherever there was a Chabad, it was Max Ostro. And I think one of the greatest schloschim that I can say, that he spent a lot of time, effort, and money in order to keep the zecher and the memory of the Jews who perished, and to work for their future. He met somewhere, he met a scholarly man, and as I understand, he supported him in order that he should publish books and should teach his children, and if some of them they're not in, as a matter of fact, I don't always agree with what he wrote, but what he wrote was talking about how Jews worked and how Jews lived and how they suffered. And then a number of books were devoted to the Holocaust, to Sachsenhausen, to the concentration camps, and to the forced labor camps. In other words, to the memory of this part of Charlie's soul that perished. And with this, all these schloschim, it's just a pity that he is gone, because he still had plans. He had plans to support this, and then to undertake this, and to undertake this. But all I can say now is gone. I mean, we don't know. I mean, the will of Hashem is greater than sometimes beyond our comprehension. He was taken, and all we can do now is it's a schloschim that he did for Torah and for Yiddishkeit and for the love of God's soul. I think let it be a good better for his children, for the mishpacha, for his son, for his daughter, for his grandchildren. And let us all be certain to So your she is to see how this school blossom like you wanted now his dream. Like you say, dat is eigenlijk heute aan de vraag.
I just wanted to say sometimes, I'm also I'm a survivor from a Holocaust survivor, I grew up with a father that had a lot of history behind him, a lot of history, a great history.
I know one chapter that chapter in my book, there's one chapter about the
I mean, if you look in all the rescue books, there's chapters of in Siberia, you look in many books, and you find, because anybody had to do with Prague, or even before the war, Pressburg in 39, you send out a boat ready. But you know what, as a child, I didn't really grasp it. A child cannot grasp what someone else sees. I just want to say, as someone coming into a family, I look and I see things and I say, wow, this is like, and a child says, yeah. He picked himself up, he was in business in Hong Kong. There was a problem in the school. They took his children, he said, I'm leaving. This is not, he left Hong Kong and he moved to England, where was he? New York. Okay. But there, yes, and it was in the 80s, and he still wanted to start another business. I'm not talking about opening a candy store on the corner, or opening an ice cream store. I'm talking about an international business. A person with so much merit, so much life, so much drive. It's something to learn. And it's people that, like Mr. Friedenson said, they were 13 years old when the war started, and after the war, nothing stopped them. They were like a locomotive. They would go, and it wasn't just, okay, now I'm retiring. You just keep on going. This is a lesson that it really should teach us young grandchildren that, this is a tremendous lesson. This is a college lesson. A professor can't teach us that lesson. We you were lucky to be able to see Grandpa and anyone that thought, there's a great lesson and we have to take it. This week's Parsha, I'm just going to say a little, I want to say a verse, okay, great. This week's Parsha, the story, I'm going to say just